Hey guys, so Max is so Max here, and I just wanted to make a quick video about 13 fun items or gadgets to use throughout the summer. And if you guys are kind of curious about each of those in depth, leave the comment down below. I'll try to make a video about every one that you guys are really interested about. So let's get started. So the very first item I have here is a UV protected shirt. But this is not just a shirt, this is actually a hoodie. So what's the awesome thing about UV protected shirts? Obviously is that you don't get burnt, or not get burnt as much if you're really in the sun. So a nice thing about a hoodie is obviously that you protect your neck as well as some of your face, right? So all your cheeks, covered if you have a hood on and stuff like that. Very high quality made, specifically this one that I recommend. It's from Billabong. You guys know this brand, it's kind of like a surfing brand, and this is like a surfing hoodie. So it's made to go in the water. It's very, very nice, and it comes in lots of different colors, lots of different kind of designs in the front and things like that. It has like a 65 FPS or SPF rating, whatever there is. But yeah, it's just a very nice shirt. You just put that on and you don't have to put so much sunscreen on and so much chemistry all over your face, right? That's always good. So number 2, I'm actually wearing that right now. So it's Billabong shorts. So these shorts, they're kind of created in a way that they look like dress shorts, but at the same time they kind of feel like material that's for swimming. So they look very nice. They're kind of like a little bit stretchy. They're very strong. I've had these for already like over a year, I think like 2 years, two summers pretty much, and they're still holding up super good. There's not too much about them. There's just kind of mesh pockets, which is something you would expect from a swimming short, but they don't look half as bad, and you can just use them on daily things that you do. And the great thing about these shorts is that they're quick dry, as well as the shirt also. Jump into the water, run out, keep hiking if you're into that, or keep hanging out with friends, and then in some time those will dry up eventually. Of course, at the seams, like let's say crotch area and stuff like that, it does take longer to get dry because the thick seams, but it's pretty good. The third item that I have is also one that I'm wearing right now. So it's actually a belt. The nice thing about this webbing belt is that you can make it as tight or as loose as you actually want it. And another great thing about this belt is that it's also supposed to be kind of quick dry. So it doesn't really soak in as much water and doesn't really get destroyed in salt water or fresh water. Now for the next item, again kind of going down, I have these awesome shoes. So these are called Tropic Feel. Let me see, do they show that anywhere? Oh yeah, right here. So these as you can see have been really worn quite a bit, although you can also kind of tell how well these wear out. They have kind of a cool design on the sole, which is a map of Barcelona, right? You have like the streets and the beach and the ocean here, which is really cool. But the fun thing about these shoes is that they're, again, quick dry, which is great for the summertime, and they're not really waterproof, right? But they're water resistant. So what that means is that all the seams everywhere where it was glued over here, right, it's all made with a glue that's supposed to not break down in the water, right? And basically these are the sneakers you can go swimming in. So these are great if you're like doing kind of cliff jumping, or again kind of hiking and then want to jump into the water, kind of cool off and then continue your hike. These are pretty awesome, right? They have this kind of mesh material that's fairly thin, lets a lot of air in and out. They have really cool shoelaces. They're kind of stretchy and they're kind of funky looking, but that's a nice thing about them, so you don't have to tie them up. And the bottom, or not the bottom, this back piece can actually fold in, which kind of looks weird, but it's actually designed to do that way, and it's designed to do it for being compact, and also so you can wear it as a slipper, right? So if you kind of just want to step into it at the beach or something like that, they're very good for that. I did add a sole on the inside that's an extra sole, and it's kind of like spongy, and I did that because the original sole is a little bit rough on your feet, so you can wear these with socks or without socks. And of course with socks there should be fine, but if you're wearing them without socks because you want to jump into the water and actually swim in them and use them like water shoes, which are pretty stylish water shoes, kind of like a vents design, so it doesn't even look like they can go in the water, but they can. But yeah, if you want to use them without socks, then they might rub onto the bottom of your feet and give you some blisters, or even on the side where there are some seams in the shoes. So you just got to be careful with that. But after adding the kind of a silicone sole in it, they are not rubbing on the bottom anymore at all, and they're very, very comfy. I've taken them on some hikes too. Next item that I think everybody should have is some kind of a waterproof pouch. So if you guys know me, I use Yeti a lot because I really love their design and their quality. But this is one of the greatest things that they've come up with, and it's better than the coolers in my opinion. So this is called Yeti Sidekick, and it's a completely waterproof, airtight pouch, right? So like I'm pressing it as hard as I humanly can, and it's not letting air out, and that's great. And the even greater thing is that it's achieved not with, like rolling fabric that you have to roll forever, trying to get it to be waterproof, but all it does is a Velcro and a strip of magnets on both sides of the openings, which is pretty awesome, pretty genius idea, and it works very well. Like, I'm surprised how well this works. But you do gotta be a little bit careful when you get one of those. Test it out for air tightness. Like, squeeze it as hard as you can, because there was an issue with some of them. Like, for example, I have one over here that was kind of, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's letting air out when it's being squeezed in. And of course, if it's letting air out, it can let water in. So you just got to be careful and make sure that it works well. As far as I'm aware, the issue that they had was only with these kind of colors, like darker, rougher materials. And they have figured out and they have fixed those in the new iterations. And I do have one more of these that's brand new, and it does not let air out. It works perfectly fine. So if you want to wear it on a belt, right, there's some belt loops, or if you want to attach it to one of the Yeti coolers, it's very good for keeping your phone, your keys, like a little napkins, stuff like that, dry whenever you're jumping into the water. And I have jumped into the water with the ones that really work, and no air came out, no water got in. It was perfect. Very, very good product. When you get the right one, just gotta make sure. So next item, as I just talked about it, is the Yeti coolers, right? So I have a huge cooler over here, which is the Backflip 24, right? It's not only a cooler, but it's also a backpack, so you can wear it on your shoulders. And of course, you guys know Yeti, super expensive, super overbuilt, and you do pay for the quality, right? So the coolest thing here is obviously that it's, again, airtight. So you can put anything you want here. You don't even have to use it as a cooler, right? If you don't want to, bring any drinks or any food, but you're, let's say, a photographer, or you need, to carry around some really expensive machinery, you can put it in here. You can be 100% safe that it's, airtight and waterproof. And because it's a cooler, it also has some padding in it. So if you put something like more fragile, like a camera in here, it'll be pretty safe. It's quite an expensive camera bag, but you can use it for that if you really wanted to. But as a cooler, it obviously works very good. Don't expect it to keep, your stuff cold for, over a week or something like that. This is more for like a few days kind of camping trip, just because it's a soft cooler. But that's also a nice thing about it, because it's kind of soft, and it feels nice on your back. And again, to the front, you can attach this Sidekick Yeti pouch. So now basically, by strapping this on the back and going swimming in like quick dry, shirt and shoes and shorts, you can literally just swim across the lake or across the river and be 100% fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Also, this, even if it's filled completely to the brim with super heavy, cans and ice and all that stuff, it actually keeps you afloat, which is kind of cool. It's like, you would think like, hey, going into the water with such a heavy thing is gonna bring me down, but no, this is actually helps you float up, which is, it's a weird feeling in the water. You can of course add some carabiners to the side, right? It has all this webbing, again, the one that attaches the Sidekick. And I even added like a little pouch with like a little koozie, a can holder. But yeah, a very cool item, very expensive, but you really, really pay for the quality of it. Now, if you're not, like a 3-day hiking kind of person, or you don't have to bring drinks for, a whole group of 20 people, then you can look at the smaller guy, right? So, for example, I have this little Yeti, which is a Flip 8, and basically that means that it's supposed to keep like 8 cans in it with the 2-to-1 ice to drinks ratio. And it's very good for like a small half-a-day beach trip. If you just want to bring a couple, like snacks, maybe a couple like cans and salad or something to the beach. This is also very, very good. Again, it has the same kind of webbing in the front that you can attach a sidekick to or any other kind of accessories. It comes with a strap that you can put over your shoulder, which is nicely padded. And again, it's completely airtight. I have swam in the ocean with this. Maybe that's why it's slightly discolored, but hey, it held up very, very good, and it's completely airtight, right? The zippers on all the Yetis are insane. It's like the same zippers that they use in like hazmat suits. So we better trust them that they're gonna be good. So next product, don't get mad at me, but it is Yeti again. And this is called Yeti Low Lens Blanket. And the cool thing about this guy is it's a blanket made by Yeti. So again, really overbuilt stuff. So this is a case that you can open up. And oh, by the way, let me just talk a little bit briefly about the case. So the case is very nice. It has a very nice carrying handle, has a bunch of attachment points for things like carabiners, stuff like that if you want to add that. The case is kind of like water resistant, so it's not waterproof, but it will kind of repel the water a little bit. And yeah, it's a very nice carrying case. You don't have to stuff the blanket inside to get it in, just nicely roll it in and just put it all inside. So it's very good. Has a carrying handle right here, or a strap. It's not super comfortable because it's just a strap without any padding, but it's not bad for like shorter kind of trips. So now let's get to the fun part, the blanket itself. So I have it in this red color, which is kind of like a washed out red color, and on one side it's very, very soft. Not insanely soft, not like a pillow, but it's fairly plush, I would say. And on the other side, if you guys can see, it's a completely different material. It's much tougher. And the idea is that this can go, on the rocks and, like all the bad ground that you want to sit on. And the comfy side goes, of course, for your butt. And the thing is that between those two layers, right, the top and the bottom, there's some kind of tarp inside, and the thing is that it's completely waterproof. So this kind of goes both ways. Once you put it on the wet ground, it will protect your butt from getting wet, right? You're gonna get like a nice plush padding for your bottom and no wet spots. On the other side, you can basically use this to protect something valuable on the bottom. So let's say something like car seats, right, or something like that, from not, from getting dirty and wetness going on them. This apparently is also very good for pets. So this is supposed to be repelling pet hair. I don't know, I haven't really tested that out, but there you go. That's what it is. And it's a very big blanket. It's pretty good for like 2 people. It's not a kind of cover and keep warm blanket. I tried doing that on a camping trip, did not go well. This is more of just literally for your butt to go kind of softly onto rocks or some kind of dirt, wet grass, things like that. So this blanket is very nice for that. One downside to this, it's pretty freaking heavy, so you wouldn't really pack this to go on like a backpacking trip or something like that. It's very, very heavy for a blanket like that, and it's also quite large, right? It doesn't really pack down into anything super small. It's quite a big, hefty box to carry around with you. So the other downside is that this probably has kind of the worst price to what you get ratio from Yeti, because normal blankets would be maybe like $20-$30, and this blanket is $250 Canadians. So yeah, this is quite an insane blanket, but it's supposed to be very tough, built for the wild. That's their tagline. It's supposed to last you a very long time. So yeah, I had this blanket for like 2 years now, or a year and a half, and it's been pretty good. So yeah, I don't know, we'll see if it's gonna last 10 years or something. Now, next item, again talking about how white I am and how easily I get burned, it's a pop-up tent. So this one's obviously in the cover right now. The company is what's it called? East Hills Outdoors, and it's pretty good pop-up tent. I got it on sale on Amazon for about $100, and the tent is pretty good. The case that it comes in is a little bit on the weaker, kind of cheaper side, but other than that, it's easy to set up. Of course, it's a pop-up tent, right? So you can set it up in seconds and collapse it down in also a few seconds. You do need maybe like an extra pair of hands just to put it back in the sleeve, but other than that, it's pretty nice for the price. All right, and the next item that I have on the list is sunscreen. Yes, kind of obvious, but what great is about the sunscreen is it's a very good quality, right? It's a nice brand, and it's 50 plus SPF. And the best thing about this little guy is that it's not just normal sunscreen. It's actually kind of like a glue stick or deodorant. So the awesome thing about it is that you can apply it on your face without getting your hands wet, or dirty in sunscreen, right? We all tried this before. You take sunscreen, you put it in your hands, and you kind of put it on your face, and then you have to do something with your hands. You go to the river, you kind of try to wash them off, but it's not coming off because it's waterproof sunscreen, because it's not supposed to come off in the water. So this kind of helps you out with that, because it doesn't get your hands wet. You just kind of apply it on your face or whatever you want, and you're done. You're good to go. Your hands are clean. The only downside is you do kind of look like you're either shaving or putting some deodorant on your face, which might look kind of weird, but this is freaking great, and I use it all the time when I'm out and about. So the next item on the list is a little flashlight. So this guy is called Olight and S1 baton, and I got this guy as a gift for my birthday, and the great thing about it is it's completely waterproof. So again, going off that vibe of like going on a hike, jumping off into the water and coming out and nothing died, this guy is great. You can just attach it to your belt or your shorts and it will be there, and it's extremely powerful. It gets super bright for a tiny little flashlight, and it's like a good lifesaver when you need it. It takes small, really weird looking battery, but it's waterproof and it's tiny, and I love it. It's great. Next item on the list, I've actually had it hanging here the whole time, and it's this quick dry towel. So this brand is called C2 Summit, and this is a dry light towel, a large size, and obviously green color. So the awesome thing about this towel is obviously that it's very, very packable, right? It's very thin and it's quite absorbent for its size. Compared to very big towels, this can get you dry, and at the same time it's not going to take up all the space in your backpack. It also has a little hook, a hook thing here that just attaches. You can put it on a tree, come out of the water, dry yourself, hook it up, and then it can just dry by itself. Before you even get home, it's already dry. So that's pretty awesome. This is a large size, as I said, and this is good for probably one person. For two people, it might be a little bit, wet before it dries up. But it's pretty great, and it comes with this little kind of pouch that's a mesh in the front, so the towel can even dry up slightly inside the pouch. So that's pretty awesome. Great product. And now for the last item that I have over here, and no, it is not a microphone. It's basically a custom made case that I made for my little friend here. This is a 360 camera. If you guys aren't familiar with what this is, Insta360 1X2. And what this is the camera that records in all the directions, right? It records 360, kind of like a spherical video. And there's a lot of benefits to that, a lot of cool little tricks that you can do with it. So first of all, why this and why now GoPro, right? So GoPro has a couple problems. So, one benefit, one really good thing about GoPro is the quality, right? The quality of the video is pretty great. But the thing is, when you're trying to record on GoPro and you're trying to record yourself in that shot, you have three options, right? So first option is that, you're just recording whatever you want, and you're not in it, right? So you can record your friends, which, you know, makes for a fun video, but you're not a part of it. You're just a cameraman behind it. Second option is that you get a selfie stick, and when you record with GoPro, then you have some of that selfie stick showing in your video, right? So it could be like a half or a quarter of the video is just taken up by the stick, and it's quite ugly. A third option, if you have a very, very good group of friends, they can record for you, but at the same time, it's like you're not buying a camera for yourself, but you're kind of forcing your friends to film you all the time, which is not ideal, of course. So this guy kind of solves most of those problems. So because of a selfie stick right over here, you can obviously record yourself. And the great thing about lenses, because what they do is basically they shoot a video on both sides of the camera, and that video is more than 180 degrees. So it overlaps somewhere around, you know, like somewhere over here on the bottom, it kind of overlaps together. And what that does, it kind of gets rid of everything that's over here, which is the selfie stick. So basically you get all the footage without the selfie stick in it. So you can record yourself, and there's nothing in your shot to mess that up for you. The other great thing is because it records, you know, 360 again, is that you're never going to miss a shot. So let's say you're recording forward, your couple friends over there, and then a friend behind you kind of flips over. You just look around and you're like, oh, what happened? I don't know. My camera was facing that way, I missed it. So the cool thing about this guy is because it records every single direction, you're never gonna miss a shot, right? So even if you're recording that way, if something fun happens behind you, you're gonna get it no matter what. Yes, the downside is the quality. The quality of the video is quite a bit lower than, you know, something like GoPro. And we're not even talking about the quality per se, more resolution, right? So resolution of this guy is 5.7K, which sounds like a lot, but it's 5.7K for the entire sphere, right? And that becomes a problem when you're trying to export a 2D or, you know, like just a kind of a small portion of it, like a portion of the video, then that resolution kind of drops down a lot. So that's the main problem, but this is the main star of my channel. It's basically what I shoot all the vlogs with. It's at around 600 Canadian dollars, but it's pretty awesome. And another downside, I gotta mention the downsides, but another downside is that it's very fragile. So you see the lenses on each side, they're protruding quite a lot. So you gotta be very careful, because as soon as you bump that lens on something, that's pretty much a goner. So that's not great, but other than that, this camera is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun for action shots, right? Because again, you don't miss those shots, and you can be in your own footage. You can be in the moment. It's a video about you, not your friends. So that's pretty great. That's it, guys. This is kind of a few items that I've been using for the last year or two, and a few cool ideas that I just wanted to share with you all. Basically, I kind of want to review every one of them in hardcore detail, like kind of going really deep in the pros and cons about each of them. But yeah, you guys can help me prioritize which ones you're more interested to know about down in the comments. Just leave a little comment, and yeah, I'll figure out which ones to do first and next and etc. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and yeah, like this video, share with your friends that like summer activities and kind of looking for cool gadgets or cool things to get for this summer or for next summers. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.